What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. And one more outgoing free agent video, and we will be done. This last video is going to be about the Seattle Seahawks exclusive rights free agents. They have 4 of them this year, and the decision with all 4 will be very binary, but it's a decision that needs to be made nevertheless. Now, first, we need to understand what an exclusive rights free agent is. An exclusive rights free agent is a player that only has 2 or fewer accrued seasons and is on a contract that is about to expire. So for one reason or another, they didn't obtain an accrued year in one of their previous seasons, or maybe they got cut before their rookie deal was able to finish, and therefore they only have 1, 2, or even 0, although that's pretty rare, accrued seasons. So at that point, you haven't yet earned your freedom as an unrestricted free agent, and you haven't earned even the rights of a restricted free agent. You have exclusive rights, free agent rights. And what that means is that you can only take a qualifying offer from the team that you're currently on, and that qualifying offer is 1 year minimum based on your current experience level in the NFL. If an exclusive rights free agent is given the qualifying offer, he has to play for that team on that contract. His only other option is to not play football. If the team that the player is on does not extend the qualifying offer, then the player can leave and he can sign anywhere for any amount of money. So that is essentially how this works. There's really not much more to it than that. Either the player gets the minimum or they don't get anything and the player can go elsewhere. So the team has all the power. Well, the only thing the player can do if they get the qualifying offer and don't want to play for that team is either retire or just ask the team politely to let them go. And most of these players, quite honestly, are players that will be very fortunate, that will consider themselves fortunate just to have a job in the NFL. So very unlikely that that happens. Very, very rare is a player on this level going to be considered particularly good or of value or coveted by other teams. So what is minimum salary? Spotrac lists out the minimum NFL salary for each level of service for each year from the CBA. The CBA dictates this. And good news here, all 4 of the ERFAs for the Seahawks are on 2 years of service. So therefore, the only number we have to worry about is this one right here, 1.03 million. That is the qualifying offer the Seahawks can either make or not make to their ERFAs. This right here in the middle, 1.03 million. So basically call it $1 million. 1 year, 1 million. And remember, we can tag somebody with this and then rescind it later. We can put the ERFA tag on somebody and then later say we changed our mind and no skin off our nose. Same with the restricted tags, actually. So there is a lot of freedom that teams have when they utilize these tags. So let's take a look at the 4 players and decide what we want to do. The first guy is Brady Russell, tight end. 26 years old, going to turn 27, I think, right before the season starts. He has played in quite a few games for the Seahawks, but he has never caught a pass. He mostly lines up at fullback when he does play offensively, and he has played actually a little bit of defense as well. Mostly, however, he's a special teams player, and he also was battling through a lot of injuries last year. Maybe he would have been a bigger part of the team if he didn't get hurt. We'll never know. But at the end of the day, there's just not much to say here. He's an okay special teamer, but I don't think that he offers anything that cannot be replaced by a unrestricted, or excuse me, undrafted rookie that is going to be paid less than $1 million. You're going to save a few $100,000. So 1.03 million on Brady Russell, I say no. It certainly wouldn't be bad to bring him back if they decide they like him. Let's remember we do have Clint Kubiak, who does like to use multiple tight ends. Maybe there's something he sees in Brady Russell, but I would personally not tender him and try to do a little bit better. Brady Russell's the kind of player who might end up slipping through to your practice squad. So you might want to make that option happen. But if he doesn't get through, then it's not really that big of a loss. So that's the first guy. The second guy is going to be Josh Ross. And a lot of people may have forgotten he's even on the team. But Josh Ross was on the team when the season ended for the Seahawks. He spent part of the year in Baltimore and then came over to Seattle midway through the year. Remember, this is a Mike Macdonald guy. He was on the Ravens defense before. So Mike Macdonald probably has a little bit of a preference for this guy. Mike Macdonald probably thinks highly of this guy. He did actually play a little bit on the Seahawks defense last year. He did actually get involved just a little bit. Mostly, though, we're talking about special team stuff, right? Mostly he's playing a special teams role. And I think that because of his familiarity with Macdonald, it would be a good idea to keep Ross around. I don't know if you have to tender him, but I would probably put the tender on him, the 1.03 million, and later on I might rescind it and then hope he gets to my practice squad. Depending on what happens at linebacker. Remember, the Seahawks do not have a lot of linebacker depth right now. They are very thin. Even after they sign Ernest Jones, they're going to be thin. So Josh Ross might be on the active roster just by virtue of the fact there aren't a lot of people in front of him. So I would go yes, but I also would not be in any big hurry to leave him there on the 1.03 million, knowing I could probably get him for less on the practice squad. Cody White is our next ERFA, and I'll tell you, Cody White showed me some stuff in one game this year, right? I think you guys remember the game against the Rams, which we ended up losing, but there was some exciting stuff that Cody White did for us in that game. Made some big plays. I think he blocked a punt as well. And to be perfectly honest, I saw more from Cody White in that Rams game than I saw from Jake Bobo pretty much all season. So I would like to bring this guy back. We're probably losing Lockett. We might lose Metcalf. I don't think we will right now, but we're not doing great at the receiver spot at the moment. Jake Bobo is our number 3, and he had a very disappointing second year. And behind him, you don't really have anything. You've got Derek Young, and what else are we talking about here? So Cody White, with that little bit he showed me against the Rams this year, has me wanting to spend the 1.03 million to keep him around. If nothing else, there's special teams value, and realistically, I think it goes a little bit beyond that. So I'm going to say yes to Cody White. I want to keep Cody White around 1.03 million. Maybe later you pull the tag and you try to get him on your practice squad. You could probably pull that off. But I would like to keep this guy around for now. And if you put the tag on him, pull it later, and then get him on your practice squad, I think it's a little less likely another team takes him because a lot of teams will have already spent all their roster spots by the time you do that. So either way, even if he makes the active roster, it's good. Even if you end up paying him 1.03 million, there's nothing wrong with that, right? If nothing else, he'll give you 1.03 million of value on special teams. And the final guy we're going to take a look at here is Josh Onogiogu. Another guy that a lot of people may have forgotten is on this team. He played in one game last year, actually did a little bit, actually played some on defense and made some tackles. So that's more than we can say for some players. But not much to say here. He hasn't played in a couple years now. The games that he played were in 2022, so hasn't played recently. And if you want this guy, he's going to be on the practice squad. You don't need to give him 1.03 million. You don't need to tender him. So definitely not doing anything here. And going to try to get him on the practice squad, maybe. I'm not married to that either because I got nothing to say about this guy really. He's a guy who was on the team. I don't know much about him. I don't know what he can do. I just, know he's here for the moment. So that's what I'm doing. That is my review of the exclusive rights free agents on the Seahawks. Not keeping Brady Russell, keeping Josh Ross, keeping Cody White, not keeping Joshua Onujiogu. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you disagree. And we'll be opening up a new series pretty soon here. So everyone have a good rest of your day. Go Hawks. Going to have another video coming later. And yeah. 1 week till the Super Bowl, baby.